The land along the Coromandel coast and its hinterland in southern India was known as Carnatic. It was initially under the Mughal administration. However, after the death of Aurangzeb in 1707, the Nawab of Arcot announced his independence and assumed power over the Carnatic region. Around the same time, arch-rivals Britain and France were engaged in a serious power struggle to oust each other from India. Their rivalry intensified further in India due to their political differences in Europe. Soon, Britain and France fought thrice against each other in the Carnatic region to eventually establish their supremacy in India. These wars were called the Carnatic Wars. The War of the Austrian Succession was an important cause for the First Carnatic War. In 1740, the French took advantage of the political crisis between Austria and Prussia and invaded Flanders, an Austrian-dominated region. In retaliation, several Austrian allies, including Britain, sent their troops to tackle the French. This led to a major war between Britain and France in 1744, which soon spread to India as well. The French East India Company had already established its base at Pondicherry in the Carnatic region. Therefore, Dupleix, the French governor of India, was keen to further expand the French supremacy in South India. Taking advantage of the Anglo-French War in Europe, Dupleix captured Madras, which was under the control of the British East India Company in 1746. The British immediately requested the Nawab of Carnatic, Anwaruddin, to intervene. However, the French defeated the Nawab of Carnatic at Santhome. By 1748, even the War of Austrian Succession came to an end in Europe. Both Britain and France then signed the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle, whereby Madras was returned to the British. Though there were no territorial gains made, the First Carnatic War made it clear that the French could no longer be underestimated. It also drew the French attention towards the weak southern powers in India. The Second Carnatic War, fought in 1748, was actually a local war of succession triggered by the death of rulers of Hyderabad and Carnatic. After the death of Nizam-ul-Mulk of Hyderabad in 1748, his son Nasir Jung and his grandson Muzaffar Jung were both fighting for the throne. While in Carnatic, Dost Ali's son-in-law Chanda Sahib was displeased when Anwaruddin, a British supporter, was made the Nawab in 1744. As predetermined, the French replaced Nasir Jung as the Nizam of Hyderabad with their nominee Muzaffar Jung, who was soon replaced by Salabat Jung after his death. In Carnatic, Chanda Sahib, along with Muzaffar Jung and the French, dethroned Anwaruddin and ascended the throne. However, Anwaruddin's son Muhammad Ali escaped to Trichinopoly and was soon besieged by Chanda Sahib. The course of the war changed when British officer Robert Clive attacked Arcot to divert part of the French and Chanda Sahib's army from Trichinopoly. Subsequently, Clive defended Arcot for nearly 53 days till the British captured Trichinopoly and released Muhammad Ali. Later, they defeated Chanda Sahib and made Muhammad Ali the Nawab of Carnatic. The Second Carnatic War re-established British supremacy in India, even though the later French governors made peace with the British. The Third Carnatic War was once again an echo of the Anglo-French rivalry in the form of the 7 Years' War in 1756. Soon, the battlefield shifted to Bengal in 1757, wherein the British solidified their position with the victory at the Battle of Plassey. In the meanwhile, the French general at Hyderabad attacked Madras, leaving the gates open for the British to capture Hyderabad. Once Hyderabad was captured, the British concentrated on Madras and defeated the French at Wandiwash in 1760. By 1761, the French surrendered Pondicherry, their commercial base, to the British. The Third Carnatic War ended with the end of the 7 Years' War in 1763. However, as per the Treaty of Paris, the British returned all the captured French provinces. The success of Britain at the Carnatic Wars greatly amounted to superior naval power and mastery over sea routes, which provided them with steady supply of arms and other supplies. Besides, a strong and stable economy ensured continuous flow of funds. Other success factors were freedom from government control and interference, efficient leadership, and well-coordinated efforts.